At this time, I would like to introduce UCLA's Dean of Humanities and our keynote speaker, Professor Alexandra Minna Stern. Dean Stern is a professor of English and history and at the Institute for Society and Genetics at the University of California, Los Angeles. She founded and co-directs the Sterilization and Social Justice Lab, an interdisciplinary multi-institutional research team that is reconstructing and analyzing the history of eugenics and sterilization in 5 US states. Her research is focused on the history of eugenics, genetics, society, and justice in the United States and Latin America. Through these topics, she has explored the dynamics of gender, sexuality, race, ethnicity, disability, social difference, and reproductive politics. Please join me in welcoming Dean Stern.
Thank you, Professor Cooney. Good afternoon. Congratulations. I'd like to extend my welcome to the graduates, to the parents, to the families, to your friends, and your community that you have brought to here today. I welcome you to this commencement, which recognizes the remarkable achievement and hard work of the 2023 Humanities graduates. This year, we are conferring humanities degrees, both majors and minors, on over 1,000 Bruins. You are graduating from the Humanities Division at the top public research university in the country. I suspect that's not the first time you've heard that, but let's clap for it again. And you should be so proud. You have spent the last 4 years immersed in reading, writing, research, critical thought, and depending on your path and community engagement, service learning, digital projects, and high-level language acquisition. Now, you have proven your mettle because you did so not only at a demanding university, but during a major global public health event. And as you all know, this required quarters, as we have the quarter system here, as you got to know very well, of Zoom instruction, likely isolation, maybe moving back home, and you really had to be adaptable to changing circumstances. Some of you might have been affected by losses during COVID, and we all must acknowledge this was a very trying time, which continues to reverberate with us today. So I salute you for making it through to today in this very tumultuous time. As humanities graduates, you embody the longest intellectual tradition at UCLA. When humanities and the basic sciences were established when the university was founded in 1919. And in fact, you are the centennial class of the College of Letters and Science, which was founded 1 century ago in 1923. More broadly, as humanities graduates, you also embody a much longer and deeper tradition of the study of humankind that reaches back millennia to the origins of the universities of the medieval and early modern world. It really stretches back centuries. And I'd like each of you to think of yourself as carrying that light forward in the 21st century. One of the most powerful aspects of humanities is that it retains its longstanding commitment to studying and better understanding human experience, expression, creativity, conflict, passion, and change through the lenses of literary, historical, linguistic, and philosophical dimensions, while adapting and evolving with the times, demonstrating again and again its intellectual relevance. You've experienced humanities at UCLA and seen how it exemplifies innovation. Some of you may have done the minor in Digital Humanities, which uses tools and platforms to analyze and visualize the corpus of literature and writings. Some of you have done Urban Humanities or Health Humanities, Environmental Humanities. Whatever your major or minor, you have applied new techniques and lenses to understand the human experience today, in the recent past, and for many of you, all the way back to antiquity. Our division indeed has great strengths in the ancient world, from Mesopotamia to Athens to Carthage and to Egypt and more. And I suspect many of you have had the privilege of taking courses in the ancient world. One powerful key to unlock the multidimensionality of humanities is languages. And I'd just like to remind you that at our premier research university, over 40 languages are offered in the humanities division. And I know many of you have taken courses or even done minored or double majored in some of these languages, from Arabic to Spanish to Armenian to Korean and many more. The humanities division has prepared you to be global citizens and hopefully has attuned you to the complex ways in which social inequality, racial inequality, gender, sexuality, and the intersectionality of identity is reflected in and helped to produce humanistic work. So I know some of you may have seen stories in the news about the crisis or the demise of the humanities. And believe me, I track all of this on a regular basis. To tell you the truth, I only read about half of these because they're often saying the same thing. And you know what? I'm not pulled into the crisis narrative because they often are based on a stereotype of humanities as a 1950s English department in which typically white male professors wear tweed jackets and the canon consists of Chaucer and Melville. Now, I want to make it clear, I have nothing against tweed jackets, although I would not wear one in Los Angeles, it would be too hot. Nor do I have anything against Chaucer or Melville. In fact, I read them earlier in my intellectual career. But humanities, and especially humanities at UCLA in the 21st century, is a dynamic, engaging, and increasingly diverse division that has a capacious understanding of literature, language, and cultural expression. Graduates, you are receiving degrees that demonstrate that you are well-rounded, empathetic, analytical, astute, engaged with the world and community. And remember this, part of the longest intellectual tradition in the world. You stand among accomplished and dynamic humanities graduates, such as Randall Park, who was at the commencement yesterday, one of the three, and that was an amazing speech. He majored in English. You also stand among Patrisse Cullors, the Black and queer co-founder of Black Lives Matter, who majored in religion and philosophy here. Evan Kleiman, she's on KCRW and is the Good Food radio host. She majored in Italian. And Peter Weller, the famous actor who received his PhD in art history. That's just, what I can count on one hand, because I don't have all afternoon to list the many accomplishments and people who received humanities degrees. Your degree sets you up to take any path that you might choose going forward. Industry, entertainment, business, nonprofit, public sector, international relations, social justice, community-facing work. And some of you indeed might be pursuing higher degrees in education, such as master's degrees, PhDs, law school, social work, and so on. Your degree in humanities prepares you to take on any of those challenges and to be well-rounded and well-informed as you do them. So I do hope that your humanities journey has imparted lifelong skills that you will take with you as soon-to-be UCLA alums. I also hope, from the bottom of my heart, that it has primed you to live fully and deeply, grasping and honoring the full and varied spectrum of human experience and emotion, as expressed in language, literature, and culturally specific ways that, at their most transcendent, are universal. With that in mind, I'd like to close with a few quotes. The first is from José Luis Borges, the brilliant Argentine poet and essayist, whose writings range from intellectual puzzles to heartfelt soliloquies. And I'm going to read an excerpt, not the full poem. I encourage you to read the full poem. It's called Instantes, or Instants in English. He wrote, "If I could live again my life, in the next, I'll try to make more mistakes. I won't try to be so perfect. I'll be more relaxed. I'll be more full than I am now. In fact, I'll take fewer things seriously. I'll be less hygienic. I'll take more risks. I'll take more trips. I'll watch more sunsets. I'll climb more mountains. I'll swim more rivers. I'll go to more places I've never been. I'll eat more ice cream. I'll have more real problems and less imaginary ones." I was one of those people who lived prudent and prolific lives, each minute of his life. Off course that I had minutes of joy, but if I could go back, I try to have only good moments. If you don't know, that's what life is made of. Don't lose the now. Finally, a short quote from the ever-pithy Oscar Wilde, whose papers are held at UCLA's very own Clark Library, located in the West Adams district. He wrote, "To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist. That is all. Graduates, I encourage you to live to the fullest and stay in touch with the Humanities Division." Thank you.